I think that's going to. Okay, amazing. So Phil, we were having a bit of a chat before, and you have a really interesting story around making a decision, because this business, like investing, right, can be quite complicated. For many years, it has been exclusively for the millionaires or people with money, and they invest through banks and investors and things like that. But fairly recently, from your story in 2019, but for me, this has only really become known to me. I'm a chartered accountant. I work in this field, and it's still very new technology. But it's very exciting, because I feel it like opens the door for anyone with even a small amount of money to enter the marketplace of investing in Forex, and also potentially other markets like crypto. So I'd love you to share your story. Your story goes back quite a few years on how you were thinking about, delving into another way of earning income. So share with everyone what was going on in your life, what was your passion, and how did this align with it?
Okay, yeah. So in 2019, after many years since college of holding all different types of jobs, I decided I wanted to go backpacking through South America. And the place I started was Colombia. And I was traveling through Colombia, and I was working for a hostel at the time. I wanted to experience that. So I took a job working at the front desk of a hostel for a month.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, in Cartagena on the Caribbean coast. And one morning, there was a gentleman from Canada checking out, and we were just talking as I was checking him out. And I said, "Oh, where are you headed?" And he said, "Oh, I'm headed to the Philippines. I just came from Peru, and before that I was in Ecuador." And I was like, "Whoa, what do you do? What do you do for work that allows you to hop around the globe like that?" And he said, "Well, I'm involved in the Forex market, trading in foreign currency." And I said, "What is that?" And he said, "Well, let me give you my Instagram and we can stay in touch." And I said, "Sure." And I followed up with him over the next several months, just back and forth with questions, super curious about, what he was involved in. And I had heard about network marketing in the past. I had heard nothing about Forex. And I was inquiring about both. And he had a background in many different network marketing firms, but he had also done a number of other things. But I could tell that he had been very successful. And so after about 3 or 4 months of having a few calls, going back and forth, at this point I had moved back to Atlanta. I decided to accept an invitation to come out to a quarterly event in Los Angeles in January of 2020. And I got to learn about the different products that the company offered and that people were using to trade in the Forex market.
So essentially, there's a lot of products here that there's, lots of choices for you depending on your investing style, whether it's manual or automated. But so you were learning about the software suite that's available, and meeting everyone and getting a feel for the vibe of what people,
exactly
what the group's like.
Right. And I, my initial impulse when he told me, "Oh, I trade in Forex," was, I have no experience or interest in finance, even in general. I went to business school. I focused in marketing and economics. I was never a finance guy, although I always kind of wish I had been. But what I soon realized is you don't need to have a background in trading or in Wall Street or
No. Like
and
I'm a fully qualified chartered accountant, and I can tell you I've not touched investing. It's
okay.
such a specific niche market. Like if you work in the banks, you probably get exposed to it, but in being a chartered accountant working for accounting firms, you're not looking, you might be auditing or looking at the balance sheets and what's happening with the movements in their, you know, shares or trading. But you said, like, I wasn't really exposed to this world at all in 15 years. The only time I saw someone trading, so this is just to give a background on how untouchable it was there was one guy who on his lunch break would be watching the charts and smashing it out and staying up all night, and he was trading. He was like really smart. He decided this is the way to make wealth, and he was like working his day job but doing this like every month.
Yeah. Yeah, no one.
I noticed. And so I think it's really amazing that you can tap into a software to fast track this knowledge and to use software to help you trade. Without much knowledge. And then you can gain the knowledge as you're learning, which is
exactly. Yeah. And with the auto trading software that Avoria Prime has, you know, like you said, you don't need to be an expert in trading. You really don't need to know much of it. I mean, you want to learn the basics. And of course, the educational resources that are available with Avoria Prime are amazing.
Yeah.
And the further I go along, the more interested I get in actually learning everything, and eventually would like to manually trade. But for now, I'm using what's called Flash, which is scalp trading, little quick trades in and out in within a day period of time.
Cool.
But all I have to do is accept a few trade notifications throughout the week. They come directly to my phone, and I just hit yes.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Nice. In Australia, we don't need to do that. So we're just like, I just wake up,
it's
open
even
the
easier
computer.
for you.
Oh, there's been 5 trades. Oh, there's a profit, or there might be a few losses here and there, but overall, like, it's looking positive. And I can certainly say, like, in our group, the thing I love about this is it's so transparent. Like, everyone has their own account. They've got their profit. They can screenshot. We share our profits with each other in a group. Like, we, you know, select the report for the month, and we screenshotting and proving it to each other like that this works.
Yeah, like I want to see. I remember when I got involved, I was like, I want to see something. Like, show me some profits, show me some results.
How do I know everyone, you know, you're actually going to make money with this?
Exactly. And when I first got invited to the Facebook group, the Avoria Prime, which was economy at the time, and I could see everyone's results, that's kind of what blew my mind. It's all right there.
Yeah.
People's MyFX books or their MT4 screenshots. And then meeting people at that event and seeing that these are all just, you know, regular people that I relate to was kind of, you know, what hit it for me and made me feel like this is something I could do.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I fast forward 2 years because I kind of put it on the back burner. You know, COVID hit.
Focusing on other things for a bit. Yeah.
Focusing on other things. But then I met Jasmine, who's, you know, I would say for both of us, a mentor and a leader, and someone who has utilized these software products successfully for years now.
For a while, yeah.
And has been able to create passive, active, and residual income for herself. And she left her career in real estate, and she's able to travel, and she lives in Bali now, and she was living in Colombia.
That's definitely what made it for me when I saw her living in Bali in this beautiful mansion, and she's like 20 something.
Exactly.
I was just like, I want some of that, you know. I left the corporate world after 15 years, you know, left a 6-figure income to start my own business.
Wow.
And I can say it's a big jump when you start your own business, but it's a great decision. I think empowering yourself to have unlimited income is such an amazing way to think differently about your future wealth and what's possible for you. And two, I absolutely have been in network marketing before. Like, honestly, when I was working as an auditor in the accounting firms full time, I would be running my network marketing business on the side. And that was just in, nutrition, beauty products and whatnot. Didn't really feel right to me. Like, I did build a team. I could see the benefit of the business model, but it never kind of meshed with me. So I ended up deciding to go for my coaching and really focus on building my own business around my specialty, which is accounting and systems and stuff. But when I noticed Avoria Prime and that the model is around building wealth and using your money and generating extra income streams, I was just like, the angels have finally answered my prayers. I finally feel like this is integrating exactly with my purpose. So tell me your epiphany story. Like, when did you finally go, this is of all the choices?
Yeah. Well, I think it was, let's see. So for the last 2 years, I was teaching English as a foreign language, either online during the beginning of COVID, and then last year in Colombia.
Yeah.
But I knew that that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to try that because it allowed me to travel, and I thought I might enjoy being around kids, but I was a terrible teacher. And bureaucracy just doesn't work well for me. So I always knew that I wanted to go back to the opportunity with Avoria Prime. I just needed to be connected to the right team, the right group of people, and feel like, I was part of a family, because that's so important to me, to be around the right kind of energy and the right type of people. And that's when I reached back out to Jasmine, who I had met in 2020 at that event in Los Angeles. And I said, listen, I want to look back into this. And she said, this is becoming a huge thing. My team is blowing up. It's helping so many different people create financial freedom for themselves.
Oh God, especially now, everyone's like scrambling because of, COVID has really like made us all think, you can't, your job's not secure, your industry's not secure, your country's not secure, like your dreams are completely changed. So, I think it's amazing that we can now offer like a solution for a lot of people who have had to work from home now, or who have been forced out of work because of their own, personal choices. And I think it's so empowering to be able to allow someone to start a business with just, a small startup fee, like 300 or whatever it is in your currency, a small startup fee.
So small.
Very, like, the requirement to invest your own money only occurs after you've tested the software, right? So you have a period where you get your own monopoly money, your demo account, and you get to play. And I just love the fact that that takes the risk off me, like, I can play as long as I want. And then when I decide, like this morning, when I've seen all these profit screenshots from the team, I just said to my partner, I'm like, okay, we need to put everything in here. Things are happening. It looks really good. I am, I've only just joined this business a month ago, and I can see the amazing potential. And this is why I'm recording this podcast series, because I'm also doing, because I'm quite new, my due diligence by interviewing the team.
As you should.
All of these so that we can share them, we can hear the stories, and I can honestly say, in the 4 interviews so far, it's been incredible to learn everyone's story. And I think there's just so much potential for all of us to share this with a lot more power and to allow people the opportunity. They say, like, it's really not up to you to hide this opportunity if you see that it could benefit you. Like, why aren't you sharing it with others? You know, so I feel it's like really my calling and necessary to share it with other people so that they can make their own decision if it fits their lives.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I feel the same way. In the beginning, I felt like, you know, maybe I'll just tell the people that I've met while I traveled that are entrepreneurial and super open-minded, and I won't tell my family and my
if it comes up, I'll tell them.
Exactly. But the further I get into it, the more I realize, like, who am I to deny this opportunity to the people I care about the most? So I actually I signed up both my parents this past weekend. And they are tech savvy or investment savvy, but I'm gonna help coach them, and they have all the resources from Avoria Prime directly. So
yeah, that's great.
But yeah, you're totally right. It's not something that we should be withholding from anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so powerful. I love the fact that, because, you know, I'm very busy. I'm a business coach. I'm a mum of 2 boys. I'm coaching my clients. I'm filming a course. I'm launching a course next week. Like, I got a lot going on.
Wow.
I film a podcast. I'm like doing all this stuff, right? And I'm also mentoring with the mentor that we mentor with the team all the time. So, but I've managed to fit it into my life, and I am like now sharing it live, sharing it in everything I talk about, because I do honestly feel that this is how I'm going to build my legacy and my wealth, is by doing this. You know, I have my coaching and that's going to grow as well. Yes. But this is like the legacy building tool for me. I can put money in, set the system up, and then just let it go and not have to think about it during the day because I'm so busy with all the other stuff. And yes, maybe one day I might do a bit of manual trading, but it's really not on the cards for me.
Sure.
So Phil, what sort of parts of the investing markets are you interested in, and what is what's your
so obviously I started with Forex, with our Forex products, and like I said, I'm using the Flash software, and I'm trading in 3 different currency pairs: Euro USD, USD CAD, and Euro Japanese yen. And I want to eventually move into other pairs and manual trading, but I'm also very interested in the crypto markets, which is a totally different animal, but and it allows for quicker gains, I would say. And that's something that, as you know, Avoria Prime might be unveiling some things this year that will incorporate crypto.
Naturally it's going to happen, isn't it? It's just an
absolutely.
That's the way the world's going.
And
so
I'm really excited about that.
Well, the thing I love is you can also diversify, right? So you can still have that one program trading those pairs, and you can, you know, test the market with crypto and then have 2. So you are minimizing your risk. What most, you know, financial advisors would advise you is to diversify and, you know, manage your risk profile. So at least the software does do some of that for you. You can put in parameters, even when you're not watching it, that it will take profit or stop loss at a certain point. So you can sort of make sure you're not blowing through your investment too quickly, which I think is really powerful, because if you're manually trading and you take a 5-minute call, you come back, everything's like potentially everything's gone, or you're in deficit. So that's what I'm feeling really secure around that. And I have not really done any investing in the crypto market, although I've seen lots of people, and it's really interesting to me. I think it is something for the future, and there's so many. Gosh, I just watched my 8-year-old on the phone, and he's constantly running up to me to get me to pay for more tokens, and that literally is that someone created that token and is earning money from trading this imaginary thing. And this is the world we live in now, where kids are running around buying tokens, and we're seeing it in our lives. But like now I'm connecting what happens in the background, right? Like someone's created that, they're earning money from it, and they are trading it. So that's really exciting. There is actually a girl in our group, which I'm interviewing later today, who launched her own, I think it's called Metaspace.
Yes.
Yeah, really interesting. So she's launched something really cool.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that. So that's Jasmine Holder. And that's another thing. What I've learned over the last month in such a short period of time is how valuable it is to be connected to the right group of people when it comes to financial investment and trading. Because like you said, 15, 20 years ago, all of these tools and all of this knowledge was something that was reserved for Wall Street, investment banks, hedge funds. You needed to have a master's degree, or
be retired with your millions.
Exactly. Or staring at charts all day. But really, it's just about being plugged into the people who know already know. And so I actually, the second week after I was signed up with Avoria Prime's products, just through Jasmine and another totally different group, that I was able to find out about Metaspace, which was a new token about to come onto the market, and was able to get in at a low price. And no, I did not get in as early as I could have. And I beat myself up about that a little bit, but everything happens in the right timing. But I plan to take a longer term strategy with it, about 6 months probably. And it's only going to continue. I mean, it's going to have
going to launch and grow really quickly, and then it's going to sort of balance out of it.
Exactly.
I did invest. I have someone else I just interviewed on this series. She invested 300 before the launch, and she said she made like over $5,000 or something overnight.
Yes. So I think everyone on that day 15x their original investment, which is insane. And to have people that are there to tell you if you're trying to just make some quick money out of this, like sell now.
Hey, this is coming out.
If you have a longer term strategy, like you're fine, hold, like, and it's every day people are in the chat with all sorts of information about it. So that's another thing that I realize is a lot of it is just kind of irrational fear on our part that we have about investment, about cryptocurrency.
Just all the past stories and paradigms, isn't it? This is why it's important to share what's currently happening and what's going on here, because it is a way to make people sit back and go, hold on a second. I had this idea in my head, this story I created for myself, that I can't create wealth, that investing's not for me, that you have to be smart to be an investor, that you have to be a CA or a money expert to do that. But I can even tell you, even now, there's still a lot of people who have no idea about this. Like I was going to say all about that club where the Millionaire Club gets to make wealth, right? They have wealth and they make wealth, and it's almost like the ceiling that you can't get through. And I've got some neighbors further down here. He's a multimillionaire, and he started talking about his investing one night, and I think it was New Year's or something. So I brought it up a week ago, and I can just share with you, because this shows you the black and white, right? In his view, you have to have $1 million. You know, he does it through the stocks and the banks and the super software and his own thing. And that basically made it so complicated. threw a lot of words at me, threw a lot of terms, made it seem like totally untouchable, and it was really put me off. But that's the old school.
Totally get it. Yeah.
He's old, retired, you know, got his millions, investing, just day job investing, right? But it's all ego, and that's what put me off. Now, and I was like, yeah, thanks for your story. I don't have that same experience. Like, I'm investing. I don't need to have $1 million to invest. I can choose how much I want to invest. And I don't have to put it in a bank and all these complicated structures. I put it in my own account. I've got access to my own account. And
so
it's
easy.
really simple. I can see my results. I don't even have to trade. I have to spend my day looking at charts. And I use software designed by investors who have been in the field for many years and like basically crafted the software out of their trading strategy. And then they've gone on and tested this over a period of time to check that it is, you know, the AI is working like it should, and they're testing it in different ways, and it goes through a whole QA process before the software. So like, it is amazing. And I think it's amazing that we can get it as a subscription at such a low amount without having to like buy in with many thousands to get access to it.
Right. Yeah, that's right, Kerry. Even just today, was it 1 p.m. I think it was, we had our weekly Flash Insight call with Dominic, who's the engineer of Flash.
Yep.
So that's another amazing thing. I get direct access to the engineer of the software. And I'm sitting there chatting with him, asking him questions about lot sizes and you know, to trade in H1 or H4, and what should I set, you know, my settings to if I want to be super conservative, which I do as a beginner trader. And that's invaluable. Like, where else can you get access to the engineer of the trading software? So
I love it. And there's like all these different rooms you can choose to go in depending on what you
live trade room.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much all we need to share with people, is the fact that you can change your thought process around whether you can call yourself an investor. And I can say now with this, anyone can call themselves an investor. All you literally need is to be set up on the system. Like, you're helping your parents. Like, I can say there's a lot of people who are not tech savvy at all, but you don't need to be.
No, you don't.
Set up and you walk through the setup process. It pretty much does its own thing.
Exactly.
And I think that's really great. And then you're also going to be learning all this new information about money and wealth and trading that you would not have access to. It's basically like a degree.
Plethora
while you're trading, you're like picking up all this technology, the words, seeing what people are doing. It's very valuable, just that education as well.
Absolutely. I just went through the Forex basics course while I was in Florida on vacation with my family over Christmas, which is taught by Nathan. He's our like primary Forex educator, and he's amazing. He makes things so simple, using the charts, using MetaTrader 4, showing you what the different candles mean.
Yeah, I did that too. I was like taking all these notes, going, "Oh my God, this is so
Isn't
good.
it amazing?" Yeah. So that's invaluable there. You have that resource, and then you have, like you said, the live trading rooms. You have the software insight calls, the wealth management overview calls, and then everyone on our team who's posting results, answering questions. It's amazing. And I think what you're doing, Kerry, is so unbelievable, because one of the things that I really wish I had had 2 years ago, and it's not against anybody, I just wasn't putting myself in front of the right people. The fact that you're interviewing people and people can see this, so it's like, oh, there's somebody else out there that also had all these questions and all of these concerns and anxieties. That's so powerful, because I wish I had met, you know, a handful of people like that right at the beginning when I
Years
found out
ago.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But that's right. You know, we all go on our
sure,
own path, and it just wasn't divinely the right time for you. You had to like
sure,
learn things the hard way, so that
right.
now you take this opportunity. You're like, I know what I missed out on. I'm
Hmm.
all in. You probably wouldn't have been as passionate, you know, back then. So
True.
everything happens, I believe, in perfect divine timing. You wouldn't have met this team, all this sort of stuff.
That's right. But
So
my point being is the team and Avoria Prime as a company as a whole, and all the teams within it are. It's just becoming more and more transparent, and you have more and more support from everyone that's getting involved, and that every day that makes me feel more comfortable
yeah.
using the products and continuing to move forward with it. So
Yeah, so exciting. I can't wait to see both our journeys. And
yeah,
you know, like I said, this whole series for me is a way of capturing the stories, of asking the questions, of sharing this amazing opportunity, and also, you know, getting us to be the leaders of enabling people to be a bit more aware of wealth, aware of options, aware of like, oh, you know, it may be breaking out of their comfort zone and thinking, well, actually I could have that too, because what if this
mhm,
happens? Not feeling like a victim, but feeling like they're super empowered to reach out to you, Phil, if they feel connected to you, if they, you know, were introduced to you at some point, to me, if they like are following me on my account and they are just like, yes, you know, I'm ready to learn a bit more about financial IQ and wealth, then we're all working together here. So
right.
I'm so excited to hear your story. I definitely, in a few months, let's catch up again and film, you know,
Same
an update
same with you,
of
Kerry.
how we're going.
Let's do it. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
thank you so much. I'm so excited to interview you. And yeah, I cannot wait to see your journey. I can see already like your passion is going to uh, monetize itself, and you've got so much to give. So I'm looking forward to
Well,
seeing
thank you.
for
Thank you,
yourself.
Kerry. Yeah, and likewise, likewise. I'm so excited that you're part of the team now.
Thanks.
Yeah, so
Cool.
awesome.
Awesome.